Seventh-day Adventists are a Christian group that started back in the 1800s, and they have some beliefs and practices that really stand out. Some people think they are just like any other churchgoers, but once you get to know them a little deeper, you realize there are some things about them that are, well, kind of unusual. One of the strangest things for many people is that they go to church on Saturday instead of Sunday. While most Christians gather on Sunday, Adventists believe Saturday is the true Sabbath day. It's the seventh day of the week, and they take it very seriously. From sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, they rest, worship, and avoid regular work or shopping. They also follow a diet that might surprise you. Many of them are vegetarians or even vegans. It's not just for health reasons, but also because they believe the Bible supports a plant-based lifestyle. They avoid pork, shellfish, and other foods considered unclean in the Old Testament. Some won't even touch caffeine or soda. What's really interesting is how much they care about health. In fact, some Adventists are known to live longer than the average person. There's a city in California called Loma Linda, where a large number of Adventists live, and it's been studied because so many people there live well into their 90s and even 100s. Scientists link this to their healthy lifestyle, strong community, and faith-based living. Another weird fact: they believe in something called the investigative judgment. Basically, they think that in 1844, Jesus moved into the most holy place in heaven and began reviewing everyone's lives, both the living and the dead, to decide who is saved. It's like a heavenly courtroom, and it's not a belief shared by any other major Christian group. Some Adventists avoid wearing jewelry or makeup. Not all of them, but in more traditional circles, you'll find people who don't wear earrings, necklaces, or even wedding bands. They see it as a form of modesty, wanting to avoid drawing attention to themselves. For the same reason, you may find Adventists who dress very simply and conservatively. Here's another weird one: they love prophecy, really love it. They study the books of Daniel and Revelation like a detective would study a mystery case. They believe many of the symbols in those books point to world events and even predict the future. Their founder, Ellen G. White, wrote a lot about this, and they still read her writings today as guidance. Speaking of Ellen G. White, that's a whole story in itself. She's considered a prophet by the Adventist Church. She claimed to receive visions from God and wrote tens of thousands of pages. While Adventists say the Bible is their only foundation, many still read her books for extra spiritual insight. She had a huge influence on their teachings, especially on health, education, and prophecy. One more unusual thing: they run a lot of hospitals and schools around the world. It's part of their mission to help people not just spiritually, but physically and mentally too. So it's not weird in a bad way, but it's a unique trait for a religious group. In fact, they have one of the largest Protestant education systems in the world. If you ever meet an Adventist, you might notice they don't celebrate holidays the same way others do. Some avoid Christmas trees or birthday parties. Again, it varies by individual and culture, but some Adventists believe that celebrating certain holidays isn't biblical or is tied too closely to pagan traditions. Many of them are super passionate about religious freedom. They believe that one day, people will be forced to worship on Sunday by law, and that this will be a test of true faith. It sounds like a plot from a dystopian movie, but they believe it's based on biblical prophecy. Some Adventists don't dance, go to clubs, or watch certain movies. They believe in keeping their minds pure and avoiding worldly influences. For some, even listening to certain types of music is off limits. Their idea of fun might seem old-fashioned to some, but they see it as part of living a holy life. Tithing is a big deal to them. They give 10% of their income to the church, but many go beyond that with free will offerings. It's not just about giving money. They believe it's part of trusting God and helping spread the gospel. They have this thing called the Great Controversy, which is the idea that the entire universe is in the middle of a spiritual war between God and Satan. It's a theme in much of their teaching. Life, according to them, is not just random, it's part of this giant cosmic conflict, and every person plays a role in it. Despite all these unusual things, most Adventists are warm, generous, and community-focused. You might think their lifestyle is a bit strict, but many of them are deeply happy and peaceful. Their belief system gives them a clear sense of purpose, and they try to live kindly and humbly, so yeah, they've got some pretty weird beliefs and habits. But weird doesn't always mean bad. In a way, it's kind of fascinating how different people live out their faith in unique ways. The Seventh-day Adventists might not be what you expect, but once you understand where they are coming from, you might even respect their dedication. And that's it for today's deep dive into 7 weird facts about Seventh-day Adventists. If you found this interesting, give it a like, drop a comment about the weirdest religion fact you know, and don't forget to subscribe for more curious content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.